Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Dananu and I'm the man with black privilege. And with this video here, we're going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 and just my impressions on it. And first off, I apologize for not posting a video in probably going on a month. If any of you guys are longtime fans of mine, you guys know that this time of year is not particularly great with me. A few years back in 2015, my mom died during the first couple weeks of November. So it's one of those things where it's like every time November comes around or like Thanksgiving, I think about that. It's just like, I'm not in the mood to do anything. So a lot of the videos that I uploaded on my gaming channel and stuff, they're already pre-scheduled. But this channel, I pretty much do, when I feel like talking about something, I make a video about it right then and there. And then usually I upload it like the next day or the following day after that, or maybe like sometime the next week. So this is more, I pretty much on this channel, I fly by the seat of my pants, as it were. When it comes to commentary topics, I don't pre-schedule anything, really. So I apologize for not uploading a video, but it's just been hard trying to get back into things. And one thing that's been helping me out with that is just Red Dead. Red Dead is kind of let's just say it took a baseball bat to all my free time. You know, it beat my free time down like it was trying to rob him and steal his money, but it's been a great experience. Red Dead looks great. I have the game on PlayStation 4. Played all the way through it. I'm about, I would assume, 50 or 60% through the game. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm still recording it, but it's been a great run so far. I figured that now that I've played more than about halfway in, I figured I can just give my impressions on it. This isn't a review or anything like that. I may do another one of these videos if you guys want to hear me review the game when I beat the story. But so far the game is great. The graphics were good. The sound design is good. I like all of the extra side stuff you have in the game. The only thing that really bothers me out of the game so far is just a couple things. The controls are kind of all over the place. You have to do different things to access different menus. You got to hold one button while do this and do that, and it's just kind of clunky. I don't know if they could make a way to make that better. They probably can now because the game already came out, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm not a game designer, but I would design it a little bit better. They are extremely clunky. However, once you get used to said controls, the game performs pretty good. It tells you a lot in a tutorial. But the problem with, this game, and I would say Rockstar in general, is they have a lot of detailed stuff in the game. So there's like 50 billion things you can do with like the controls and stuff like that. They tell you the major stuff, but then they don't tell you the side stuff that you can do with the controls unless you go into like the menus and, see what things do and stuff like that. A lot of the controls carry over from GTA 5. So if you're a fan of that game, you're going to be able to jump right into this one and know at least how some of the controls work. Now, what's different is how the game interacts with the menus and stuff like that, and going into your inventory, because you have like two sets of inventory. You have like the inventory on your person, and then you have your satchel inventory, and then your horse has an inventory. So it's kind of cumbersome when you're getting used to all of that stuff. But once you get used to it, it's perfectly fine. It is what it is. At this point in the game, I'm damn near used to it. I know how to do everything, so that's fine. The story, great so far. I will say that. It's one of those things where I'm not a huge Western fan. In fact, there's only been like 5 Western type things that I really, really like. There's Unforgiven, the movie. There was this one Gene Hackman Western movie that I seen a while back that I really liked. But usually it's like maybe like 2 or 3 90s or early 2000 Western movies that came out. And as far as other stuff, I played through Red Dead Redemption 1. I played through all of that. Tried to do an LP of it, but uploaded a couple videos on YouTube. And they flagged him, so I took him down. But I played and beat that. Played the zombie DLC that they had for it and stuff like that. And I think the only other Western thing I like is what was it called? Oh damn, what was it called? It was about it's gonna be bugging me, so I have to at least talk about it now. Has nothing to do with the commentary, but it was a show about the main character joining this company to build railroad tracks to go from one side of the country to the other. And that's what the name of the show was, but I just can't think of it. But I know it had the guy who played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ. He was the main character. But anyway, back to Red Dead. Red Dead is great. Like I said, story was great. I think the story is a hell of a lot better than Red Dead Redemption 1. In Red Dead Redemption 1, you played John Marston as he was co-opted by the government to go after Dutch and what was left of his crew, which Marston was a part of. And as you played through that game, you killed certain members of the crew, and then at the end of the game, you took down Dutch. And then the government turned on you and killed you. There's a lot more to happen in between there, but that's the main gist of the story. With Red Dead Redemption 2, you play this new guy, Arthur Morgan, who I think is a new character. I don't remember him being mentioned in Red Dead Redemption 1. I think they made him up for this one. And in this is like a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1. So Arthur Morgan is still with Dutch's band of people. Marston is with Dutch's band of people, and you're still an outlaw gang and stuff like that. So you're trying to run away from the government, but you're still doing your outlaw stuff, and you have this dream of getting enough money to just leave the life behind and do your own thing, you know, since the government is kind of trying to break in that Wild West type of life. You know, they're trying to make it more civilized. So the main story pretty much is about, at least so far, I haven't played the second half of the game, but where I'm at now, you're trying to gain money with Dutch's team, and I think where my last save was, things are starting to go wrong. So people are starting to die, and where I'm hoping they take the story is in Red Dead Redemption 1, Dutch was an asshole. He was like a crazy, murderous asshole. Where he would kill people without any reason, and you be trying to talk to him, and he would use somebody as a hostage, and then when you would like agree to let him go to save the hostage, he would like shoot hostages anyway and run away. So whereas in this game, Dutch is more of the charismatic leader who can sweet talk people, and he's a smart guy, and he can inspire these loyal people around him to be with him and to be a part of his gang. It's almost like two completely different characters, YouTube. And it's one of those things where, as the main character, he's like Dutch's right-hand man. You know, that's who his character is. So you're like his pseudo son, I would say. Like, you know, if he had a son, it would be you. You guys kind of grew up together, but it's that kind of relationship. He's like, you're damn near like a father figure to you and to a lot of people there. So it's one of those things where I'm hoping the end of the game, where they take the story, is that I'm hoping by the end that Dutch is that deranged, manic, crazy asshole that he is in Red Dead Redemption 1, because they have to explain that. And I even said that in one of my videos of me playing the game, is they have to explain how Dutch got from being the charismatic, nice, inspiring criminal to being like a murderous asshole like the Joker and shit, where you just didn't know what the hell he was gonna do. If you know, they have to explain that transition, because right now it's like I don't see it. You know, where I'm at in the storyline now, it's like I can see he's getting manic, and you know, things are going wrong and people are dying, and I can see it beginning to happen. I'm just hoping they carry it out until the end of the game and explain that. So I'm hoping the story continues to be great, but like I said, I haven't beat the game, so I don't know. Outside of that, the only really flaw I could say I have in the game is there's a few control options that I just don't understand why they did. Like, you can't run in a camp, you know, like they make you walk in certain scenes. Like, it's like they tried to take GTA 5 and kind of they made this game just like they made GTA 5, but then they one up themselves, because with Red Dead Redemption 2, they try to make everything as realistic as it possibly can be. So a lot of the character animations, it's like, oh, when you pick this up, you have to bend down, pick it up, put it in your bag. They filmed all of that, so it's like, if they film, if we filmed all of that, we're gonna make people watch it. That's the feeling I get from the game when I play it. So you have to wait through all of those animations. In real life, when you go into a building or something like that, you're not gonna run inside the building at full sprint. You're gonna walk. So they make you walk in certain scenes and areas because it's the more realistic thing to do. And to me, it's just like one of those things where it's like, come on, man, it's a game. Let people run around. If they want to run around, so what? It's not gonna break your immersion like that. They try to make everything cinematic. Like when you're riding on horseback to a mission or two, they make you ride to missions. There's no fast travel. I think I unlocked fast travel like 40-50% the way through the game. They give you the option to fast travel from your camp to like another city if you want. But before then, it's like, oh, you want to travel? You got to do it like realistic means. You got to go by horse, by carriage, or by train. So you have to ride your horse to the train station, get on the train, wait in a cutscene of it going from day to night. Go, then you go to the town, get off, get on your horse, go to where you need to go. So even still, it's just like it's making you wait half the time. And it's trying to immerse you in the life. I get that, I really do, and I love the game probably halfway for that, But it's one of those things where it's like, come on, I want to play the game. I don't want to watch it. If I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a damn Western, So it's one of those things where it's like I want to play it at the end of the day. Like I love movie-based games and experiences and that cinematic feel. I love it. I love it to death in video games. Don't get me wrong. But I think that you can go overboard with it. And that's what I think they did with Red Dead Redemption 2. I think they went a little bit overboard with it, and, because they don't allow you to skip half of it. Now, if it was one of those things where it's like, okay, the first time you're seeing those animations, you had to watch them. Or maybe, let's say, like the first 20% of the game, they made you watch them. But then after that, during those cutscenes and stuff, you could just hold the button to skip it. I'd be fine with that. That way you can choose to watch it if you want to watch it. And if you're one of those people who didn't want to watch it, you could just skip it. But that's not the case. That's not what they did. That they kind of force everybody to watch the cutscenes and to watch the animations and stuff. Outside of that, my only real flaw, I'm going to say major flaw with the game, there's nothing to do with money. Like, you get money for doing story missions, you get money for hunting, you get money for trapping, you get money for doing bounties, you get money by robbing people, by robbing banks, robbing people, robbing stores, selling items, selling furs that you get from animals. There's tons of stuff you can do in the game to earn money, but outside of buying your guns, which are kind of already locked off, some of them, there's nothing else to do. You earn hundreds and hundreds of dollars in the game, but leveling up your gun or buying customization parts is cheap because the monetary values for doing that stay the same. Where it's like back in the day, let's say something that was $5 was a lot of money back in the old West days. But in the game, if you earn like $200 by doing a bounty or something to upgrade that part of the gun, it's still like, okay, that costs $5. That might cost $20, that might cost $30. So it's not that, big a deal, because by you doing story missions, you're gonna get money and you're gonna get a lot of it. So by like this point in the game, where I'm at, I have like, I think the most I've had was probably like eight to 10 grand. And then I donated like 4 or 5 grand to the camp that you got to give money to. And then like, I just kept like the other 4 grand and just kind of kept it. And I spend that, but it's like, as you're playing through the game, you can't spend all of your money because you're constantly making more as you play through the game. So I'm assuming that's going to change once the multiplayer hits, because I don't know how they're going to do the multiplayer. The only thing I have to base it on is that I would assume they do it like GTA 5, where they kind of make the world have all the side stuff in there. You have all the shops and stuff are in there, and all the different game types and game modes and stuff. They're gonna throw all that in there, and that's gonna be like that's what you spend the money on. But in just right now in the main story, outside of leveling up your guns and buying your outfits and stuff that you have, there really isn't a whole lot to do with the money. So it just piles up in your inventory. I guess you can donate it all to the camp, but so far I've bought every camp upgrade and stuff like that, and it just doesn't seem to, you know, I mean, like I said, I can donate to the camp, but that's like throwing it away. So, you know, at this point in the game, I don't know if that's going to change anything with the ending or not, though. Maybe it does. Maybe if you donate 50 grand, maybe something will happen more at the end or something like that. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it. So, but outside of that, game's damn good. It's pretty much been the game I've been playing ever since it came out, and I've put hours into this game. Hours. Like, just to explain how much time I put in there, I'm LPing the game, right? And I know I probably have at least 14 or 15 videos going up every day since it came out, and I have like 20 to 25 more videos that I haven't edited and uploaded yet to YouTube. like if I uploaded them all right now, I would be scheduling out videos up until like the middle of December. That's how much gameplay there is. And I don't try to cut my videos short either. I'm not one of those channels who like upload a video and have it be like, oh, this is gonna be 10 or 15 minutes. Like, no, most of my videos are half-hour chunks. So it's you know, half hour, or at least some are even 45 minutes up to an hour. But it's one of those things where this game has a lot of depth to it, to the story. So you're definitely getting your money's worth when it comes to how much time you're putting in the side quests. Another thing I do like about the game is they give you choices in the side quests that I thought were really, really good. The first quest that comes to mind is there's a quest where your ex-girlfriend wants your help, and you go to her house, and her and the main character had a falling out because the main character liked her, but she didn't want to fall in love with him and leave him because her dad didn't like the main character because he thought he was an outlaw. Granted, he was, but he didn't think that he was good enough for his daughter. So his girl, the daughter, didn't get with him. And it's one of those things where he was like, you gonna, you know, choose your dad over me if I'm the person you in love with? So he broke up with her. So now this is like years later, she's like, hey, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, I need your help. I was like, fuck that bitch. You know? And I chose no, I didn't do it. So I skipped that whole side quest. I didn't get to see nothing what happened. You know, I watched the cutscene where she told me why she needed my help, and I was like, no, screw you, I'm not helping you. And I left. I went back to the camp. And then later on in the game, something else came up where she needed my help, and I decided to help her, right? And then she was like, oh yeah, that thing that happened earlier, you know, I got through that or whatever. So it kind of gave me like an answer to the quest. Like, you know, I understand how she resolved it, but I didn't get to play that because I chose to skip it. And that's what I mean by the choices. A few quests in the game, characters in the cutscene will ask you, hey, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? And you have to make that decision right then and there. And if you choose not to do something, that could skip that piece of content, or that could make your character end up in a different place, or in a different cutscene or something like that, or, you know, give you something for it. Like another quest like that was the first time it was the tutorial quest for, I guess, hunting, you know, the hunting mechanic. And you had to hunt a bear, and you were going with a character, and at the end of that quest, the other character was like, hey, look, I'm going back to camp. Do you want to come back with me or not, or do you want to stay and hunt the bear? And I chose to hunt the bear, but I'm assuming if I left, that would have gave you a fast travel back to the camp so you can do something else. So that's what I mean by if you make those certain choices, it'll give you something or take something away, you know. And I like that. I like that a lot. It makes you feel like your choices actually matter in some of the, you know, some of the games. Not some of the games, some of the missions. Because in most games, if let's say the game gave me that choice of helping your ex-girlfriend, right? The game would have been like, no, I'm not helping you. You know, like forget that. I want to leave. And then the game would have been like, oh, but come on, Arthur. You like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I really need your help. And he's like, oh, all right. And then he comes around and you have to do the quest anyway. Usually that's how most games are, where like they kind of force you to do the quest one way or the other, no matter what you choose. Kind of like how Mass Effect Andromeda did things. And so your choice at the end of the day doesn't really matter. But here it matters at least a little bit, not a whole lot to the game, but it matters because then in regards to Arthur's girlfriend, that changes how he thinks about her and acts towards her. You know, you can make him an asshole, or you can make him a genuine good person based on what you do in the game. Besides the choices, you also have kind of like a morality system, where if you go and you just kill indiscriminately and you rob people, stuff like that, that builds up like a meter. So that makes you more evil or more good based on that system. And when you become more evil, I'm assuming that changes the way he acts in certain cutscenes. That changes how the world sees you. That kind of sort of a thing. I like that system a lot, although I think it's heavy-handed with the evil stuff. Like, I'm not an overall evil person in my game. I just don't go around killing everybody. Like, don't get me wrong, I do my share, fair share of killing, but it's one of those things where most of the time I'm just, doing me, unless I feel like I have something to gain, and then I might kill a civilian or something like that. But what it does is, besides just killing people, any kind of bad action towards an NPC, whether that's roping them up or sticking them up or killing them or bumping into them the wrong way. Like, you can knock somebody off their feet. Next thing you know, he pulls out a gun and tries to kill you because the game saw that as like a negative action. That's where I think it's heavy-handed. That and the fact that you can run your horse into somebody and then it'd be like, oh no, you tried to kill him, and the cops will be on you and stuff like that. That I don't particularly like. But outside of those things, the game is damn good. It's incredible fun. I would definitely recommend picking it up just based on just the half I played of it so far. And from what I hear, it's making Rockstar tons of money. They're getting that Call of Duty money at the end of the day. So I mean, more power to them. I don't know when they're gonna add in multiplayer. I'm hoping the multiplayer is better than GTA 5. I'm trying not to be stuck in a long ass load screen where I can go drive out, get something to eat, and come back and the game still be loading. I'm not trying to deal with that at the end of the day when I play Red Dead multiplayer. So I'm hoping they get on better servers, or they they learn their lesson with GTA. I don't know what was taking that game to load all day, but I'm hoping they fix whatever that problem was for Red Dead. So hoping the multiplayer is good. I may make another impressions video talking about that once that comes out, and I jump into it and I put at least tons of hours into that too. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about Red Dead Redemption 2, and if you want to play with me when the multiplayer comes out, just drop your gamer tag or your PSN down in the comments there, and I'll add you on PlayStation, and we can definitely game it up once the multiplayer gets here. But anyways, guys, my name is Denanu, and I'm the man with black privilege, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.